Welcome to the Wellness Brief podcast with me, Sarah Nolan, women's fitness, fat loss and nutrition coach. Today, I'm joined by Martine Gibson. So Martine is a therapeutic coach and counsellor. She is the founder of a wellbeing focused CIC, Ready, Set, Go, Success and Wellbeing. She is a specialist in the topic of imposter syndrome, blending lived experience with evidence-based psychology. And she offers both counselling services and workshops on the topic. Join me now while we talk all things imposter syndrome. Thank you for coming on the podcast, Martine. It's lovely to have you on. It's been a while. We've been trying to arrange this for a while, haven't we?
I know. And then things get in the way, like sick kids and stuff like that.
So. Life gets in the way. But it's really lovely to have you on. And I think I really want the Wellness Brief to be sort of not just all about fitness and fat loss, which is obviously what I specialise in, but a 360 wellness approach to health and wellness for professional women. Now, I've seen you talk before on imposter syndrome and you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And as soon as I saw you talk, I was like, I need to get Martine on because it's a huge issue, isn't it, for professional women?
It's a huge issue, absolutely.
So tell us a bit about you, your background and how you came to specialise in this.
Oh gosh, how long have we got? So I'll try and keep it brief. So my background literally is I spent 25 years doing business administration.
Right.
Believe it or not. And then unbeknownst to me, imposter syndrome was right for me at the time. My daughter was 4 and she was just about to start school. And I'm thinking to myself, where am I going? What am I doing? Who am I? What am I doing? I don't like the job that I'm in. I loved where I worked and I loved the people. I just didn't enjoy the role that I was doing. And I remember one of the managers came up to me and she was one of the directors, actually, one of the senior leadership team. And she came up to me and she was having a little bit of a moan, should we say, about some managers not taking the opportunities that have been offered to them. And one of them was to become a coach.
Right.
And I was like, I'll bite your hand off for that. But because I wasn't in a certain level at the time, I couldn't go for it. And then I think it was about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, she came down to me with a handout. And I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What do you want?
What are you wanting? Yeah. And she was like, do you want to bite it off then? And I was like, what are you going on about? And she went, you've got a spot.
That's amazing. So they've seen an opportunity, they've given you an opportunity and they've obviously seen real talent in what you're already doing.
Oh, yeah. But no, do you know what? Attending. So I did the International Coaching Academy, I think it's called. I can't remember. John Haynes. Everybody knows John Haynes.
John, yeah.
So he trained me to be a coach, and becoming a coach literally, when I say changed my world. So I identified I was struggling with imposter syndrome, with my identity, about who I was, how I fitted into the world. And he helped me put all the pieces together. And it took about 12 months after that, once I'd found myself. And I left the job that I was in to no job. I went to college half a day a week.
Yeah.
And people were like, why don't you just reduce your days? And it was just like ADHD kicked in. It was just like, I'm all or nothing. Got to just do this and go in, fully focused, all in. So I did that. And then 4 years later, I was a qualified therapeutic counsellor.
4 years is a long time, isn't it? And like you said, you've obviously discovered quite a bit about yourself during that time as well.
So it was the time I was with John doing that, the 12 months in between, and then the 4 years after that. And what was really special was I graduated on my 40th birthday.
Amazing.
I know. I was
that's
so made up. I graduated a year after passing, but you have to wait for other people to like catch up and do hours and things like that. But so it's been really special what I do and what I learned from John and the coaching, and obviously the decisions I made was I decided to set up my own practice and to become a counsellor and a coach, because I never ever wanted any person, man, woman, child, whatever, to feel like I did. Because we don't need to feel that low. We don't need to feel like we're not worthy or we're not good enough or there's nothing special about us or we don't belong or we don't deserve things, because that type of mentality, that low self-worth, that imposter syndrome, it just
What is imposter syndrome then? I've seen you talk about this before.
So
I know.
To keep it in a nutshell, it's chronic self-doubt.
Yeah.
It is chronic self-doubt to like the highest level, but it's also accompanied by fear of being found out that you're a fake or a fraud, that somebody's going to find you out.
Yeah.
And I literally had another bout of it when I first started doing my workshops. I used to wake up at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning thinking, I can't be doing these workshops. Someone's going to report me. Somebody's going to report me for doing them. And I'm like, report me for what? So I was constantly challenging myself, and I was like, report you for what?
Yeah.
For doing what you've been training to do for the past like 6-7 years.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, I remember when I was in my legal career, and I was very, very similar. And we were chatting before, weren't we? And it's only now looking back after the fact, so with hindsight, and I actually look back and go, do you know what? You were actually you were good at what you did. Yeah. But for some reason, the more successful I got, the more self-doubt there was, that I didn't feel I could let anyone see because I didn't want it to look like a weakness. And obviously, I was a lawyer, so we're meant to be sort of hard as nails, you know.
That's the imposter there, isn't it?
It was rife. And, you know, it was when you said then about, you know, thinking, you know, something's going to, and I was convinced at times I was going to get struck off. And I was thinking, and I remember saying it to my husband, and I'm like, what for? Like,
exactly.
What? Go on, explain to me what. And I'm like, well.
But then we're hard on ourselves, which then just reinforces the thoughts and the feelings of, do you know what I mean? Oh, you're being silly, you're being stupid. And we start using negative words about ourselves and describing us, that negative and self-talk.
Feed it really?
Yeah, we do. We literally, you know, the story about feeding the wolf.
Yeah.
It's like the wolf that wins is the one we feed. Yeah. Or in a wolf, that is.
And there's different types of imposter syndrome as well, aren't there?
Yeah, there's 5 of them. So, So the biggest one, because it's one of the personality traits, is perfectionism. So perfectionism, we've all got a little smidgen of that in us. Yeah. The primary focus on perfectionism is how things are done. It has to be done perfect. Yeah. Literally. One little flaw, one wrong move, something not done with precision, start all over again. But the thing with imposter syndrome and all the types, they all lead to one specific emotion. There's other emotions tied in with it, but the biggest one is shame.
Oh, yeah.
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 Shame. And shame weighs heavy on us. It makes us feel and feeds into our self-doubt a lot more. But each one of these leads into shame. So yeah, the perfectionist is all about the how things are done. So it's like if you've got 99% out of 100, you're a failure.
Yeah.
And the shame comes in. I should have got 100. Why did I fail on that one? You know, don't worry about the one. Celebrate the 99.
Yeah.
But we are so programmed for negativity bias. We always look at the negative first. So that's the tricky one. The next one is the expert. So that's kind of like the knowledge version of the perfectionist. So this is all about how much. So it's how much knowledge you know. So the expert needs to know all the steps, needs to know everything. Classic lawyer.
Yeah.
If you don't know all there is to know about a particular subject, i.e. law, if someone asks you a question and you can't give them the answer, you fail.
And do you know what? I got much better with this actually towards the end of my career, but I would just say in the end, I don't know, but I'll find out.
Yeah.
I knew how to find out, that's the thing. But certainly when I think it for me, it was at its worst when I first went into a senior management role. And I went from having someone above me who was a more experienced lawyer to me being the top of the tree sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, who do I ask and go to? And I did know the answers to a lot of things, but what I got comfortable with is finding out where to find the answers and being honest with it helped me a lot. Because people don't expect you to know everything, do they?
No,
they don't expect you. And I think as well, if someone can seemingly answer everything and they're an alleged expert, that's actually a red flag to me, because I think no one's got that breadth of knowledge.
No.
You know,
could you imagine knowing all there is to know about one particular subject?
Yeah.
I think your head would literally fall off. We were laughing before, weren't we, about Megamind?
Yeah.
Was it you? It was talking about having all the knowledge and the information. You'd be like Megamind.
Yeah.
You'd have like literally your head would fall off. But yeah, so we've done 2, have we?
Yeah,
so
we've done 1 and 2.
The perfectionist, the expert. So the next one is the soloist or the individualist. And this is all about the who's doing things. So it's all about if you ask for help, it's a sign of weakness. If you have to ask for help, you failed.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. It's like we are so hell-bent on knowing everything, being everything, and making sure that we're doing things on our own so people see us as the lead and expert. And it's just like, we can't do things by ourselves.
We're so tough on ourselves, aren't we?
Literally, yeah. Literally. So it is all about the who, and you have to do it by yourself. And if you ask for help, then that means you've failed. So then again, it walks shame and as a part.
Yeah, but shame that you've had to ask for help. And now everybody thinks less of you.
And that you're weak.
Actually, asking for help in any aspect, and I see this even with my clients, you know, ask for help. So sometimes we'll do our weekly reflection, a check-in, and they'll tell me all the things that they'd struggled with the week before. And I'll be like, why didn't you reach out? Yeah. So ask for help at the time. Like, don't ever feel embarrassed about asking for help. It's actually the biggest strength, isn't it?
Do you know what? Asking for help is one of the biggest strengths, but it's also an indicator of your level of self-awareness.
All right.
You know your limits. You know you are fully self-aware in yourself, that you know when you need support and you need help. And that's really healthy. Yeah. Because you don't push yourself too far. You don't put so much pressure on yourself. You don't stress yourself out. You just know, okay, my knowledge is capped here. I need to go away and learn some more. Who can help me in this direction or who can help me with this subject? So it's really healthy to ask for help.
Yeah. And that's where having like a really good network around you as well must come in so helpful as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. The next one is the natural genius. So this is the person that...
Definitely not me. Don't identify.
But to be fair, this is all about like the how things are done. So it's like the natural genius puts pressure on themselves to do things first time. To get it right first time.
No, just be able to do everything.
Yeah, you just know everything and you just do it the first time. Someone asks you to do a big tapestry weave and you're like, yeah, be 5 minutes.
I'll work it out.
Yeah, I'll do that 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So it's putting that much pressure on yourself. And if you don't do it the first time and you know, there's a few more tries, then...
That's an immense amount, like load to carry that, isn't it?
That's the one that carries the most shame.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the heaviest ones.
Yeah. So it's like almost like a feeling of I should be able to do anything that I want to turn my hand to. Yeah. But it's just impossible,
it's wild,
isn't
it? It's mind blowing.
It's wild.
It's wild. It really is wild. And then the last one is the superhuman.
Oh.
So this is more around the how many. How many roles can we master? This was one of mine. I don't mind sharing. I've been a few of them, to be fair. I think I've touched on all of them because with imposter syndrome, before I go into that, it is situational. Right. So it's not something that's continuously with you all the time. It shows up at different times.
Rears its head every now and then.
When you're going into something new, like when you was explaining before about going into a new role, or when I was explaining when we were coming to do this about imposter syndrome, I was like, going on a podcast, imposter syndrome was just like, woo, woo, woo. So it pays us visits when we're going to do something new, something that's challenging.
When we don't want it to.
When we're feeling the self-doubt, but this is chronic self-doubt, but it is situational and we can have different ones at different times and more than one at the same time. So the superhuman one is one that I've experienced, and it's all about how many roles. So it's about how many roles can you master and be good at all at once.
Spinning plates.
Oh, yeah. So,
and I suppose that as well, it's not just work, is it? It's like being a mum and being a business owner. And then, you know, there's all these different roles that we play, isn't there?
Yeah, literally. And it's like, you know, just being a business owner is hard enough, but then you've got to factor in everything else that goes on outside. You've got to be a daughter, you've got to be a friend, you've got to be a sister, you've got to be a mum, you've got to be an auntie, there's all kinds.
It's a lot.
And then while you're a mum, that comes with its own role description as well, because you're
Yeah,
not just a mum, you're a teacher, you're a carer, you're a cook,
Yeah.
you're a shopper, you're a chef, you're a stylist, all of those things. So the superhuman is really big, but this is about how many roles that you can master. And if you fall short on one of those roles,
You're failing.
you're failing.
Failing at life.
In walks shame and has another party.
Oh, God.
I know.
Do you know, obviously, this is why I've wanted to get you on, but I'm not sure a lot of people will associate the two, the shame thing with that. 'Cause I think it's hard to call out what an emotion is sometimes, isn't it? Like, it's hard to actually put a name to what you're feeling with it. But I've definitely in the past felt, now's that it's shame, isn't it?
We feel embarrassed, don't we?
Yeah.
Embarrassed,
and it's
shame,
actually, it's mostly unwarranted, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then there's always that one person who just seems to just like be the Donald Trump of the world, who's like literally thought, you know what, I'll just put myself forward for president, like completely unqualified.
Yeah, I'll just go for it.
But it's like, and then there's like, I've sent an email and I've made a spelling mistake, and I'm like, oh, should I email them and say ignore the spelling mistake?
Yeah.
Like, this is like literally.
But yeah, literally.
So in my
those
legal
things.
career, I would draft a document or I'd send an email or whatever it might be, and I'd have, obviously read it, gone over it with a fine tooth comb because I was a perfectionist. Click send, and then I'd see that there was like a typo or something, and it would literally make me spiral. And it's like, I've already sent it, or there's a typo in that, and the client's already signed it, and what do we do? And it's like, it's blowing it up out of proportion, isn't it?
Yeah, especially with perfectionism. It's like I said, it's one of the big personality traits. So,
and then the next time you come to do it, you don't trust yourself. So
and then you're getting someone else to check your work. And then I've got to get someone to check my emails. Oh my God, back to school, I failed. And then shame walks in. So it's like a vicious circle that we have to break.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you actually about like signs you could be looking out for. Is this, I know you said it's situational. So is there sort of a precursor to it?
Yeah. There's quite a few signs. But the first thing is downplaying your achievements. Oh, it was nothing. Just in the right place.
Do you think that's a female thing as well?
I think it can be, but I have worked with men with imposter syndrome. Yeah, literally. So it's just like, oh, anyone could have done it. Right place, right time. It's just luck.
Not the fact that you were just really brilliant in what you've just done.
Not the fact that you've just studied for 5 years.
You worked really hard.
Sat all them exams and sacrificed your time, and you were up till like 2:00 in the morning and all those things. So so downplaying your achievements is a big one. Overworking and over preparing.
I feel cold.
So over preparing is a sign of perfection, is one of the elements of perfectionism, and overworking is one of the signs of the superhuman. So perfectionism is, I've got to prepare, I've got to do this, got to dot my I's, cross my T's, all those things. And you can't do everything until that section's perfect and then move on. So they're the ones that are always held back by procrastination.
You never get anywhere because nothing's ever good enough.
No. So you're just stuck.
Yeah.
So procrastination is its best friend. When we're looking at the overworking, the superhuman is always the first one in the office, the last one to leave, works through breaks and lunch, has to work harder than everyone else and feels guilty about taking time off. And while they're off on leave or, I've got to go back to the office and I've got to do that email, we'll log on the Sunday just to prepare.
I'm probably the most susceptible to burnout, I imagine, as well.
God.
That's a fast train to burnout, isn't it?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Literally.
So I imagine you see quite a lot of overlap then between.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that you do some work with Rachel, don't you? Rachel Philpott, who obviously we've had on the podcast and specialises in burnout.
Yeah.
But there must be quite a bit of
so
crossover.
I do a lot of mindset coaching with some of Rachel's clients, but there's a massive overlap. Again, perfectionism has just got its own title. You could do a whole series on perfectionism, but everything needing to be perfect.
Yeah.
Avoiding opportunities as well, like holding yourself back, not going for things because you don't feel like you're good enough.
And you're scared. And fear.
Fear's huge. Fear is huge. Fear drives this.
Yeah.
Fear does drive. That's another pesky emotion as
Yeah.
well. Whilst it's great for some things and a little bit of fear can be
a
helpful.
little bit of an edge.
Yeah, but everything in proportion.
Yeah.
I'm leaning forward, making sure that gets into the mic.
I was asked to speak at something last year and I knew that the room would be full of lawyers and it was about my career in law and it was about my story. And my initial thought when I got asked was, how can I get out of this? Right? What should I say? And I did do it, but it was like, and then I had to sort of like sit with myself and be like, what are you doing? Like, they've asked you to speak like
about you, not them, you.
Yeah, and it's like, but the initial was, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this? Yeah. And now I think from doing it, the more and more you do something, the better, isn't it? Like, the first time I went on a podcast was the Leading Ladies one.
Yeah.
And I remember that they had to stop the recording because my shoes were squeaking because I was messing with my feet. It was that bad. And now I've got my own. So it does show, like, but it was perseverance because I must have lost 2 stone in sweat the first time when I went on that podcast. And now it's you've just got to feel the fear and do it anyway. And I know that's,
book, but you know,
but yeah, and I know that you hear that a lot, but it is true, isn't it?
Oh gosh, yeah, it is. And literally, I mean, I think with a lot of things, it is just doing it, taking the first step. It's like, you know, the old cliche saying, it's like, you know, you don't think about all the steps when you want to get to the top of the staircase. You just take the first step and then work out how to take the next one and then go for it. You just got to keep climbing. And if you have to come down a couple of steps, doesn't mean you failed. You just got to start from where you are and go back again. And this is the thing. People think that if they've got to be superhuman or they've got to be fully adversed in everything to do things, and it's not. It's just about taking the first step.
Well, actually, what I was going to ask you then is what can people be doing to try and sort of, if they do feel it's creeping in, and what would that?
So some of the things you can do is what we teach. It's called naming it to tame it.
Right.
So if you feel your imposter syndrome is there, it's just like, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And you're really doubting yourself, then simply saying, hang on a minute. This is the, because it's not yours, doesn't belong to you. You don't own it. It's this pesky little poison parrot that flies in every now and again.
The little swat to get rid of it.
Just like, off you pop, off you go.
Yeah.
But naming it literally tames it. It stops giving it power.
Yeah.
It like psychologically like role reversal. So when it initially pops up, it has the power.
Yeah.
If you name it, this is the imposter syndrome talking. The power's now yours.
Yeah. Almost give it its own identity.
Yeah.
Separate from you.
Yeah, because then it stops being abstract. When things are abstract, as humans, for whatever reason, we have to put them in physical form.
Yeah.
Like, it's like we can't think of something as just being just there.
Yeah.
It's got to have a form. So that's why I use terms like visualize it as a poison parrot sitting on your shoulder and you can just flick it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing to do is collect your evidence. So when you are achieving things, make a note of those things that you're achieving. Because when I'm doing my workshops, if I was to ask people in the room, give me 5 or 3 things, 3 of your strengths, let's just say, they're all like, and they struggle.
Yeah. I'm loyal. Or, like something like that. It'll be, like the...
I'm friendly. What are your strengths? And then if I say to them, what are your weaknesses? Oh, I can give you 90 million of them. And they will stand up and reel them off. It's that negativity bias. So it's making sure you're collecting your evidence, making a note of your achievements and the goals that you're achieving. That's really important. Challenging the story. Reality checking things. So when those negative thoughts are coming in, where's the evidence? What makes them true? What makes them true and what makes them false? Because a lot of the time, the stories we're telling ourselves are just unfounded. They're just not true.
It's recognising that, I imagine. I suppose someone's got to recognise that it is imposter syndrome and that it's not their reality in the first place. Yeah.
Well, hopefully they'll watch this podcast and
then they'll,
I talk about things like this a lot on like on social media and things, and give people tools and hints and tips on how to deal with things. But this is it. And then normalising it, because a lot of people, if not everybody.
Really prevalent.
Yeah, experiences this. And it's just what I find, where I find or who I find most experience imposter syndrome is the high achiever people.
Yeah. I was going to actually ask you that. Yeah. And you said as well, it's a male and female thing.
Yeah.
Do you see, is there more of a tilt towards women, or is it very much, do men talk about it?
No.
So women are getting better, aren't they, at actually sort of talking about it?
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever heard or had a conversation with a man around imposter syndrome.
Yeah. I've had quite a few.
Well, you will have done.
Yeah, they're getting more open to it when like I bring it up and we talk about it and things like that. But
that shame, that element of shame, especially being a man, must be very, very hard as well.
Yeah, because when we're looking at, we can go into a whole world of psychology here, couldn't we? But when we're looking at like societal conditioning, it's those things. It's like big boys don't cry.
Yeah. Why are they coping and I'm not? Like, why are they smashing it and I'm not?
Yeah, that's the comparison thing. That's one of the things. If we go back to that question when you said to me, what are the early indicators? Comparison. When we compare, the only destination you're going to get to is despair.
And it's assuming as well that the other person has got it all nailed. Like, it's not the case, is it? And it depends what you're comparing to, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the thing is we don't practice self-compassion a lot.
No.
Us people do. Us humans. We don't practice self-compassion. So let's say, for instance, we'll use me as the example. I'm like best part of 10 years in now. But if I walk into a room of people who have been in the business or been in the field for like, say, 15, 20 years, and I'm like this, oh my gosh. You know, the confident person without the imposter syndrome is, let me talk to all of you so I can drain you of all your knowledge and learn it all and go and be great like you.
But not thinking that they're probably thinking, oh, Martine's here.
She's new and up and coming. So, but the thing is, someone with imposter syndrome, I'm in the wrong room. I shouldn't be in here. I'm not good enough.
I don't deserve to be here.
I don't deserve to be here. But what we do is we compare our chapter 1, or let's say, for instance, me, I'm on chapter like 10, my chapter 10 to their 15. It's unfair.
I get this a lot, you know, in the work that I do as well.
Yeah.
And it can be, even like if you take fitness as something.
Yeah.
When I'll have someone start with me and they'll be like, oh, I haven't exercised in years, complete beginner. And they're apologising for that. And I'm like, you don't need to be comparing yourself to anyone. And it's like, we will get you feeling good in no time. But the last thing that you want to be doing is going onto Instagram and comparing your day one to someone who's been training for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because, and I've had this with, obviously I was in my 40s going into the fitness industry.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow. So I know I'm a good coach. Like, I get results from clients. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, at that point, and I was new, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't know enough, or, you know, and what I've realised is that everybody sort of has that element of like, do I know enough?
Yeah.
You've just got to be open to learning, haven't you?
Absolutely. But there's self-doubt, but then you've got like the imposter syndrome, which is the chronic self-doubt.
Yeah.
Which like...
is unrelenting.
It's that like sitting up in the middle of the night, stressing and things like that.
Losing sleep over it and stuff.
Literally, yeah. So it is chronic. It really is.
Yeah.
And again, as I said earlier, it's driven by fear.
Do you find that it's any particular... So it's high achievers, you said?
I find it more prevalent in high achievers. But when you were saying about women, then research does tend to lean towards women being more forthcoming about talking about their imposter feelings.
Yeah.
But it's not just prevalent to women. Yeah.
And do you know the reason that I think as well that a lot of people might think it's a female thing? I actually had a conversation this morning, and someone actually, I was saying that you were coming on, and it was a client of mine, and she actually said, I know, because it's so shit, isn't it? Like, men don't have to deal with stuff like this. And it's so interesting hearing from you that actually they do.
They do.
They just don't vocalise it in the same way. And that's a whole, like you say, that's a whole different thing. And that goes to like the way in which men carry loads anyway, isn't it? Mental load.
Yeah.
And by the way, this podcast is obviously, my client base is women, But I am very passionate about men's mental health as well.
Definitely.
And it really is a big thing, isn't it? So it's informative for us to recognise as well that there may be men around us who are, and we're assuming that they're not feeling it because they're not showing it, and they're good at hiding emotion.
No, absolutely, because that's what they've been taught to do. But I think as well, a lot of people think that imposter syndrome is just for women because the initial research was done on high achieving females in a university in America. So the two psychologists, they were counsellors at the time, Ims, I can't remember how you pronounce it, and Clance. They were working with high achieving females in a university.
Right.
And when they were working with them, those females were saying things like, "Are you sure my marks are right? Should I really be here? You know, are you sure you haven't got it wrong?" And that was in 1978. Imposter syndrome, feelings, phenomena is the way it's termed. Was first coined in 1978, and then there was another doctor, Dr. Young. She came up with the 5 imposter syndrome types in the 80s. So when you're looking at, it's not a mental health illness, though.
No,
I have to add it.
It's situational. You said as well.
It's like psychological patterns. It's an internal thing. It's our belief system, but it is a psychological pattern. But when it comes to women, though, it's women, and how am I going to say this without it like getting? I'm just going to go for it and say, when we look at women in general in society, we come under more scrutiny, don't we? We were talking about this before, weren't we? And it was just like, when you see high achieving females and like CEOs, I mean, people get things said about them like behind them, bit of a psychopath then.
How dare she? Who she thinks she is?
Who she thinks she is climbing that ladder, and she's got kids, she should be at home with the kids and things like that. So the women who are wanting to be high achievers and want to climb the success ladder are battling with all of that, and because they're battling with all of those outside influences and like societal conditions, it makes them more prevalent to it. The shame about what they're doing. So that's why. Women may be more susceptible to imposter syndrome. I
remember having a conversation actually with a male lawyer years and years ago, and it's when I'd just made senior management, so I was only mid-30s, and I remember his response to me was, "Congratulations, I've just heard you've been promoted, blah blah blah." And he said, "Oh, it's funny, isn't it? Everyone always assumes that you must be a bitch to have got to where you've got to, at a young age. And you're really nice." And I was
Thanks, mate.
I was like, "Thanks very much." Yeah. It was funny actually, the conversation that flew. I mean, that was a whole different conversation that flowed from it, because then his next comment was, "So do you not want kids then?" Because I'd just gone into a senior role, and I thought, I don't think he won't have walked away from that conversation and never given it another thought. And clearly it stuck with me for years, but in a way that I was like, that's a really warped perception of the fact that I just worked really hard. It must have been because I was a bitch or something like that.
But a person can only respond to you from where they are.
Yeah.
So they're coming from their conditionings and what they think, what their societal and whatever introducts they've got going on. So that's how they will respond to you. So in their head, they must have thought, well, this is what women do. This is what men do.
It's mad.
This is what it must be like. Yeah, but it can be really tough. One of the questions I got asked when I left my job to go to college half a day a week was, what are you going to do for money? How are you going to feed your kids? Someone actually asked me that question.
Like you hadn't thought these things through.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I just said, like I always do. I just thought, I'll leave that there.
Yeah.
Just leave that
It's
there.
not anyone's business as well, is it? And this is the thing. It's like, it will stop people from having the conversations if they think that they're going to be probed as well through it. But
make people feel a bit insecure.
But that probably comes from a place of that person obviously has it's projecting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
Literally.
I think once you realise in life as well that a lot of the people's behaviour is projection, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes it doesn't make it because you still find that sometimes you're like, it can impact you. People's words do impact you, don't they?
Oh God, yeah, they do.
And then trying to remind yourself that that person must be going through something.
It's showing empathy.
So we don't need to then jump in and start being a knobhead to ourselves as well, do we?
It's the difference between reacting and responding, isn't it? And there's one little trick for that. One little trick that will get you from your normal reaction, your habitual reaction, to a response. When somebody says something that makes you feel some kind of way where you want to react and go, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Just take a deep breath.
Yeah. Just a pause.
Just take a deep breath. Sometimes even taking a little tiny minute step back or leaning back.
Yeah.
Just backing off, taking a deep breath. Even something like gives you time to reset and come back with, right, okay.
Yeah.
Them tiny, minute steps will literally
It's hard to do that, isn't it, in certain circumstances.
But as I say, with everything, practice.
Yeah.
Everything is down to practice.
Everything in life is, isn't it?
Confidence. Even when people are talking about like confidence, how are you so confident and blah, blah, blah. And confidence is a skill. That's
the more and more you, because as I say, I've seen you speak a couple of times now, and you will have worked really hard to be as good as you are when you're delivering your talks and stuff.
But I'm still petrified while I'm doing it. And this is the thing. People come, you said confidence. And I'm like, yeah, confidence is a skill. We can do these things. But I'm still nervous. And I'm nervous because I want to do a good job. I care about what I'm doing.
Nerves isn't a bad thing, is it?
No, it's not.
I think if you don't feel some sort of nerve,
you don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit, do you? Like, so with me, like, there's a level of nerves, isn't there?
Gosh,
it's where it's debilitating, and that's awful. I mean, I've had to do stuff in the past where I've been like physically inside, just like really shaking. Like, and it's been awful.
Yeah.
But then I always like to have a little bit of nerves. Like, I get nervous when I come in to record this, and it's like more like a nervous excitement type thing.
It's because you care.
But I care.
Yeah.
And it's not about. I think we can misinterpret nerves, can't we? Sometimes
we can get so caught up,
and we can think that because we're nervous, we're not going to do a good job, or we shouldn't feel nerves because nobody else would. I'm not confident enough.
No,
it's a vicious circle.
Yeah, it is, and this is it. It's like your thoughts make you feel a certain way, and then them feelings make you engage in a certain behaviour, and then that behaviour just reinforces. So we just go round and around and around. Yeah. So it's just about breaking the cycle, doing something different.
What can someone do then if someone's listening and they recognise? Because I have a feeling there's a lot of people going to be like, oh, that's a bit of me. That probably. I know when you were reading out the 5, I was like, yeah.
Tick.
What can they do to reach out and get support? And it's getting the right support, isn't it, as well? Someone that you're comfortable with talking to, like yourself.
Yeah.
But how would that work? What would they do?
So what I would say is, don't wait till you're overwhelmed.
Yeah. Nip it in the bud.
Yeah. Because what a lot of people do is wait until they're at that point where they're like, I can't cope anymore. You don't need to wait till then. The sooner you address it, the better for you. So please don't wait.
Yeah.
That would be my first thing. Please don't wait till you're overwhelmed and too stressed. Once you start seeing, okay, I downplay my achievements, or I'm doing this, or I'm comparing, and I'm experiencing self-doubt, there's no shame in going to speak to somebody.
No.
It's reaching out to somebody who, like an imposter coach or a therapist or me or whoever they feel comfortable with. One of the things I say is, if you're going to work one-on-one with someone, the biggest thing is your relationship with them.
Yeah.
If you've got any niggling doubt about whether you can trust that person, whether you feel psychologically safe with that person, if there's any doubt, then no.
We all just want to feel looked after as well, don't we? I think that feels like that's a big thing. I think definitely exactly the same with the clients I work with is we're talking about really personal things.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And they have to be comfortable enough to, and I will always say, you tell me as much as you're comfortable with telling me.
Yeah.
You know, that's entirely, it's a different relationship, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you know yourself, like the more that someone's able to open up, the more you can help.
Yeah.
Because you can dig deeper into what the issue might be.
Yeah, because you can then, if you're getting that professional help, you're able to then understand where those thoughts are coming from. You can break those unhelpful thinking habits. You can get new tools and strategies to put in your psychological toolbox for use long term. So that's what that type of specialist help will get.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
Definitely.
And one thing I've been asking everyone who's come on is what their top 3 non-negotiables are when it comes to like taking care of yourself, basically, health and wellness. What sort of things do you like to do?
So, rest.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Rest. You hear people say, oh, we can sleep when we're dead or we can rest when we're dead and stuff like that. No, rest.
No.
You need to recharge and rest without feeling guilty. I'm a single mum with 2 kids. If I sit there and put my feet up, or I used to sit there and if I was just like, oh, I'm just resting, I'd be like, no, I need to be doing something. I should be doing the dishes. I should be doing the washing. I should be doing this. And it's just like, no, rest.
Sometimes rest is the most productive thing.
Rest, yeah.
It really is.
Rest. Boundaries.
Yeah. I'm huge on boundaries. I talk about boundaries a lot.
Boundaries serve a purpose, and their primary purpose is safety.
Yeah.
They keep you safe, and they also keep other people safe in regards to expectations. When your boundaries are in place, people are clear on how you want to be treated, what you expect, and also vice versa.
Yeah,
so
it's mutual.
Boundaries, healthy boundaries. If it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't raise you up, if it brings you out of alignment, I'm speaking for me now, it's a big fat no. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's very,
sorry,
very...
not sorry.
And as well, a lot of people are very, very uncomfortable with putting boundaries in place.
Yeah.
It's...
And a lot of people are uncomfortable with other people putting them in place.
Yes.
If a person, just to throw this out there, if a person feels any kind of way towards you because you want to put boundaries in place, then 9 times out of 10, they were taking advantage of the fact that those boundaries weren't in place in the first place. Yeah. I think place, first place. But yeah, you know what I mean, don't you? Yeah. Boundaries are healthy. They keep you psychologically safe and all types of ways. So yeah, boundaries. And my last one are my miracle mornings. Go
on.
Oh,
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So there's a psychology and a biology to this. So when we first wake up, you'll be aware of this, our cortisol levels are
that's what gets us up.
super high. So if I wake up and then I'm getting the kids up and I'm getting them showered and I'm doing this, my cortisol levels aren't going down. Naturally, they're increasing.
Because they're
on the rise, which means they're going to take longer to come back down, which means I'm going to be stressed.
Like, get your shoes on.
Can't concentrate. Take wrong turns in the car. Let's drive on autopilot to the wrong place. Mix up my work and stuff. So I ensure that I have my miracle morning. So I get up an hour before the kids.
Oh, nice.
And I have my time where I do some meditation. I do some breathing. I think about all the things that I'm grateful for and I write them down. And I just give thanks for just being alive and waking up.
Oh, that's
every
lovely.
day. So they're my mornings. And I have a nice cup of tea or something decaf, not first thing. I don't have caffeine first thing. But yeah, so then before those miracle mornings, when I say it was like World War III in my house getting out, it was horrendous. I remember one day I dropped the baby off at nursery and I just picked him up and handed him.
And just went, take him?
No, I didn't even say anything. The girl, she just said to me, are you okay? And I was like, no.
Oh.
And I just cried. She went, I'll call you later. I said, okay, bye, thanks. I just sat outside the nursery for about 10 minutes crying.
And you know your morning that you were talking about then, you said like it's an hour. People could do like a shortened version of that, like even 10 minutes of sitting on your own and having that moment.
Oh gosh,
for some people, if that's all that's possible for them, that will in itself, like for some people, that might be all they can achieve, mightn't it? Whatever you can do to get
literally. But it doesn't even have to be a morning. I'm an early bird. I'm a morning person, so I'm up at like 5.
Some people it might be their pre-bed thing that they do.
Middle of the day at lunchtime.
When the kids are at school, you make it your thing to have like, even if it's like say 10 minutes, 15 minutes to just be.
It's like we're so good at putting in our diaries like, meeting this person for a coffee this night out and then go to the gym that morning they plan it. But do you plan in rest? Do you plan in time for yourself? I do every morning.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's a must. So I call them my miracle mornings because
I love that.
It's a miracle my kids are alive.
They might not be had you not got your morning.
Yeah, no, I know. But it does keep my stress levels down.
Yeah.
Because it's hard being a single mum on my own. 2 kids. I've got a teenager and a toddler. and then
a lot.
perimenopause and everything
Oh,
else
yeah.
all mixed in. I need them mornings. So it's my boundaries, and it's one of my boundaries. That's my time.
They're your yeah. I love that.
And it's rest. It's 3 in 1, isn't it? My miracle mornings.
Yeah.
It's all 3 in 1 for me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
A little bit of
me.
headspace, a little bit of solitude.
Yeah. Oh, I love solitude.
I know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people feel guilty for it though, for wanting to be
Need it.
alone.
Yeah.
You know, it's not because you don't like people, is it? It's just, I love a bit of solitude.
You need to put your energy on a budget.
Yeah.
And people take
I
your
love
energy.
that.
You do.
Yeah.
Put that thing on a budget and, spend it like you're spending your money. That's what I say about your energy. Spend your energy like you're spending your own money.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah.
Control
definitely.
what you spend it on.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
That's been so helpful.
Oh, no,
it
you're
really,
welcome.
really
Thank
is.
you.
I've learned a lot as well.
Yeah, oh, good.
And I'm sure there'll be so many people listening going, oh God, I recognise myself in a lot of
Yeah.
that. I'm going to put your details in the show notes, but
Perfect.
what's the best way of people getting in touch with you?
Yeah. So Instagram is a good way. So my handle is @RSG. So the RSG stands for Ready, Set, Go. So @RSG Success. And I'm on Facebook as well. But the best way to get me is Instagram. Yeah. But
I'll put
you've got
your
my details.
Yeah, I'll put them in the show notes so people can click through and give you a little follow. And obviously there'll be contact details there to reach out to you if they did want to have a chat with you around anything that they're experiencing.
So there will be a little lunch and learn session coming up. So once I've got all the details, I'll get them over to you so you can put them in the notes. So there'll be a little lunch and learn session. So it'll be free. We'll be talking all things imposter syndrome in that session. And a few little surprises coming along. So,
amazing. Well, I'll be definitely looking out for that myself as well.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on, Martine. That's been amazing.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me as well.
No problem at all.